Alright, check this out. You guys are back on the Hater World and I'm Blue Devil. What we got going on today is a video of little Kelpy saying that he's gonna catch Almighty suspect in traffic. But before we get into that video, if you guys are new to the Hater World, make sure you go over, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, like the video, and most importantly, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you like what I'm doing or whether you don't. And salute to all my day ones. You guys already know, nothing but love. But check this out. We got little Kelpy saying that he's gonna catch Almighty in traffic. Scope this out. I don't want to talk about Lil Kelpy no more. This shit is boring and old. We've seen everything we can see from him as far as him getting beat up. But people keep requesting this. So check this out. This will be the last video on Kelpy, unless he gets ran over by a truck or something. But I got one more announcement. Southside Storiez. People were asking if only Southsiders will be on Southside Storiez. Check this out. Southside Storiez is for anybody with a dope ass story, whether you're black, white, Chinese, yellow, whatever the fuck it is. It don't have to be a gang story. It could be a life story. It could be anything. If you got a dope story, you can be on Southside Storiez. Alright, just wanted to clear that up. But let's go ahead and watch this video of little Kelpy acting tough, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and give you guys a Southsiders reaction. Let's go.
So you leave there, you know, you do my show, you do some other shows, and then they bring you back.
Yeah. They brought me back. They wanted a part 2. So.
But this time just with Adam.
Yeah.
Adam is sharp. And now, so what is your mind frame going into this next interview?
My mind frame was like, oh, it's just going to be an interview with Adam. And then I found out that Suspect was going to be there doing it too. And I kind of like done my homework and sort of figured out who he was. And so I was just like, oh, well, this is going to be interesting because Adam's going to be like kind of just, you know, following both of us and kind of.
Check this out. When you look somebody up on the internet, you're only going to find out their internet fucking background. You're not going to find out all the bodies they caught. You're not going to find out how many people they bitch slapped. You're not going to fucking find out, you know, all the grimy shit that they got hiding in their closet. So beware when you think someone is soft because of the shit you saw online. I guarantee you, if you look up Suspect, you'll probably find his mixtapes and his no jumper interviews. And you can't really base him off of that. You know, I guarantee you, if you look up little Kelpy, you'll see him being bitch slapped and beat up. And you can judge somebody off of that because you seeing their actions. But still, he might have a little bit of gangster in him. You know, little Kelpy might switch from being a softie to being a gangster. You guys know that people get bullied sometimes, and you know they don't want to be bullied no more, so they go from being the weakling to being, you know, a bad motherfucker. But that's very rare in this case. But don't be surprised when you read somebody's background off the internet and that's not really them. Okay, on the internet, remember, it only has your internet background, not before you got on the internet. Alright, but let's keep going.
Trying to back up both sides, play both sides like he does a lot. And this Suspect dude, like, I expected him to go off on me, and that's what happened, you know. Only I didn't expect him to go off on me physically until I actually got there and started, like, you know what I'm saying, calling him a bitch and just kind of going off on him like that. Because he was disrespecting me, so I felt like I wasn't allowing myself to get walked all over again. And I just kind of, you know what I'm saying, started talking my shit.
You know why you didn't expect him to do that to you? Because you're not from the gutter, homie. You're not from the trenches. You're not from the streets. If you were, then you know that the minute you talk to a real one in a disrespectful manner, he's going to slap you in the mouth to remind you who he is. There is people out there that do not accept any kind of disrespect. Luckily, Almighty just slapped them. But, you know, there's other homies that will go to the extent, you know, I'll put it to you like this. Let me give you a quick story time. One time I had got in it with some fools from Compton, right? And these fools were my homies, right? And but this motherfucker was a hothead. And even though we were homies, he felt that I disrespected him. And instead of squabbling with me, he ran upstairs to get the heater, you know? And that's how hothead they are, and that's how some people don't want to be disrespected. I'm not going to say what happened after that. It is not for the internet, but just know that, you know, some people take disrespect different. You know, some of them might slap you, some of them might say, yeah, whatever. and some might go get the heat. You know, it just depends to the person itself. But Kelpy, you didn't expect it coming because you're not really out there, my boy. But let's keep going.
So you get there and you were kind of already like ready, like you're gonna be more aggressive this time.
Yeah, I already knew that he posted the last interview when they was being disrespectful, so obviously I'm gonna be disrespectful this time back if they're still treating me that way. You know, if they was on some like, oh, you cool, we seen what you've been doing type shit, I would have been cool, but it wasn't like that, you know. So what happened?
So you should have been on your toes then. If that's cool that you went up there with that intent, right? Like if they're cool, I'm cool. You know, if they disrespect, I disrespect. Cool. Listen, I understand that, right? And I give you props for thinking like that. But you should have been ready, right? You should understand that, hey, listen, if I disrespect them, they might want to do something. So what am I going to do in return? Am I going to fight? Am I going to grab my strap? Am I going to grab the shank? What the fuck am I going to do, right? You just went up there winging the whole thing. Winging it. And it didn't work out too well, you know. But let's keep going.
So you guys start going at it again.
Yeah.
Now, when he hits you, were you surprised that he hit you, or did you kind of expect, like, you called him a bitch, that he was kind of crossing a line by calling him a bitch?
Yeah, no, I most definitely knew when I said that there was going to be some type of conflict. In all honesty, though, I was just a little too faded. I was kind of, like, out of my mind on that kratom shit. And at the same time, like, I wasn't really prepared. My reaction time was slow. But I expected a fight to kind of, like, follow me calling him a bitch and just that energy the whole time. Just wasn't ready for it physically, I guess.
Okay.
Hey, listen, at least this little youngster admits to him not being up on what time it was. You know, you got fools out there that'll be like, oh, he sucker punched me, or you know, he knew I wasn't ready, and just will make up a million excuses. So at least you got to give the youngster props that he's not making it seem like something that is not. Literally said, you know what, I just wasn't ready. You know, and you know, you gotta accept that. You know, you can't really, you know, call him out of his name because at least he was being honest. But let's keep going.
So do you feel like he was wrong for hitting you?
No, I don't think so. Not at all. I mean, I feel like if you call another man a bitch, then you should stand on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, get down with that person, whether it's there or whether it's, you know, a couple minutes afterward after the show. I feel like he was wrong for doing it on the podcast. But at the same time, like, you know, everybody handles their business differently. I can't hate on him for doing it the way he did.
Check it out. You know when I watch him talk, you know what I see? Somebody that studied the game. And I don't mean studied it like read a book, right? But is saying all the right things so he doesn't look like a bitch or look soft, right? You know that if he says, oh, he shouldn't have sucker punched me, or he shouldn't have punched me, or this, and this, he knows that people are going to be like, fool, what do you expect? You call him a bitch, you know he's going to punch you. So he's literally saying what we're all thinking. So that way we can look at him and be like, oh, Kelpy might be from the streets. But he's not fooling nobody. See, he's fooling all the kids that don't understand, right? Like, these are psychological games, what he's doing. He's saying all the right things so people that are watching him be like, oh, Kelpy's a real one because he said that if anybody calls him a bitch, they should be fighting. So he understands that. Yeah, but it's him saying it so we can believe it. But motherfuckers like me don't believe it. You know, he's just saying all the right things. And all the youngsters that are out there, all the kids, all the people from Wyoming and Idaho, even though there's some gangster ass fools over there, and salute to all the G's out there. But you know, all those little youngsters that never been to Cali or never been involved in any kind of gang activity, they believe him, you know. But fuck it, let him do what he's doing. Let's keep going.
I'm just saying I might not have handled it that way, you know.
So you felt like he should have just called you out and you guys should have just went outside and handled it?
I feel like that's how I would have done it, so that's how I think he should have done it. But like I said, everyone does it differently. I can't really hate on another man for, you know what I'm saying, having a different mindset on how they're going to go about a beef or go about some disrespect, you know.
So the shit goes down.
Yeah.
You know, he punches you. And I believe I hear you still call him a bitch after they pull him off you.
Yeah, and I felt like that was well-deserved because he spit on me, and that's some female shit, so... He's showing some female tendencies. I'm going to stand on calling him a bitch because he was acting like one. So, and that still stands. You know, I called him out several times after that. I'm not really doing it no more just because I'm trying to get my own money and not focus on the internet beef, not give him no more clout. But, you know,
Did he really said that he doesn't want to give Almighty any more clout? Damn. Bro, you grabbed your clout from Almighty. How can you be giving them any clout? Listen, motherfuckers get a little bit of fame. A little bit. And they start thinking that the world revolves around them. Bro, the man gave you the clout. You're the one that went over there trying to steal the clout from Sharp, No Jumper, and them. You know what I mean? Like, you built your whole little image around the No Jumper clout. What is you talking about, my man? You ain't trying to give them no clout. Listen, motherfuckers be getting a little too how can you say, what's that fucking word? A little too fucking shit. What is that fucking word? Invested, a little too invested on this whole internet clout fucking bullshit. It's like, damn, dog. Like, you haven't showed us anything that you can do. Not a piece of merch, not a song, nothing, bro. Everything that is about you is revolved around being a fake pimp, getting beat up, and No Jumper interviews. Like, show us something. But let's keep going.
him out. He declined a boxing match. He declined a squabble, you know what I'm saying? So, kind of just stands on, yeah, he kind of did act like a bitch. He kind of is still acting like a bitch, so I'm going to call him a bitch, you know?
Bro, why would he fight you, though, my boy? Listen, little Kelpy. Understand this, my boy. Listen. He slapped you, beat you up, and spit on you. He doesn't owe you a fair fight. You said some words. He went ahead and handled his business, and he's done, bro. On to the next chump. There's no reason to sit there and entertain you. You are, first of all, you're nobody to him. First of all, you're not his opposition. And third of all, you were just a guy that came on the interview and now you're done. That's it. That's it, bro. Like, there's nothing there. Like, why should I give you my time of the day and set up a fight with you? Like, who are you again? Some kid that came on the website and fucking ran his mouth about being a pimp? Like, what the fuck, right? Like, why would anybody set up a fight? Come on now. Listen, I just did a video about this rat Pino, right? And the reason I did a video about him is because he's calling out Rio once for a fight. And now he's calling me out, but it's like, fool, what the fuck? Like, listen, my boy. First of all, stand in line. And number two, I don't give a fuck. You're nobody to me. I'm about to sit here and go back and forth. I might give you a video here and there, but that's about it. Same thing goes for Kelpy. Like, nobody owes you a fight. And there's nobody being a bitch because they don't fight you. They already beat you. You's the bitch in reality. You's gotta go find this motherfucker, not the other way around. But let's keep going.
What do you think will happen if you guys were to run into each other?
If we run into each other, I'm gonna catch him, but I don't know where. You know, he's in a different bracket than I am, and he's cool with No Jumper. He's working there. When I pull up to No Jumper, the security's kind of like making sure we're not in the same room. We both got people on us, kind of keeping us separate. So, I don't know. I'm basically gonna have to catch him in the streets, and I'm not looking for that, but if it happens, it happens, you know?
Listen, I hardly make faces when I'm watching these videos, right? I try to have like a flat face, you know, because I don't like to be out of character. But who the fuck is this guy gonna catch slipping? He said, I'm gonna have to see him on the streets. I'm not looking for it, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to catch him. Bro, you're gonna catch an ass whooping, my boy. Be careful. Remember this. When you fight somebody at school, you got the security guard to stop the fucking fight, right? When you fight somebody outside of school, anything goes. Okay? You got in a fight at No Jumper. It's like fighting at school. Now you catch Almighty outside of school, motherfucker, you might get ran over. You might get dragged. They might put it on film again. They might fucking take your shoes. They might give you a wedgie. They might fucking slap you on the back of the head. You might get jumped. Whatever the fuck. The list goes on. Be careful what you wish for, my boy. Be careful what you wish for. The streets don't play. And it might not even be almighty. You might even be walking up to him and you're going to get the stitches effect. You might get the whack 100 coming from the left with a roundhouse. Let's not forget what happened to Stitches when you try to get close to Game. Same goes here. I'm not saying Game and Almighty's in the same bracket, but you got some homies that won't allow you to get close to people. So be careful what you wish for, Kelpy. Be careful, my boy. But let's keep going.
Okay. All right. So the fight goes down.
Yeah.
Now, I think everybody kind of knows about it, but it's not really being put out into the public. You know what I'm saying? Like people know about it if you're like really following what's going on. Like I think you kind of spoke up on it a little bit on your channel, but it's being kept quiet, man. Because I want to say they were worried that you might sue him. They
was hella worried that I was finna sue him. They was especially Adam. He was tripping as soon as it happened, and I called him a bitch and all that. Suspect dipped. They really started like saying, "Oh, we gotta keep this quiet." Like Kelpy, like don't say nothing about this. We're not gonna drop it. You can't drop anything about it. Like we gotta keep this quiet. And I didn't really understand that. I was like, bro, it happened. This is gonna be good clout for both of us. I don't understand why.
This is gonna be good clout for both of us. That's what you're worried about after you got bitch slapped? That should tell everyone watching this that this fool came into this game just worried about the clout. This should be good clout for both of us. First of all, no jumper don't need the clout, my boy. They're on clout 9. You need the clout, number 2, right? But if that's what you're worried about instead of your get back, instead of like trying to worry about Almighty and this and that, come on, dog. I don't have to say anything else. Listen, and I'm not gonna keep going on the rest about the suing part. If Kelpy was a smart motherfucker, which I don't think he is, I think he's 50-50, but not fully there. If I'm a civilian, right? Let's just speak of I'm a civilian. I would have sued the shit out of No Jumper. That's what listen, Kelpy is in this business to get paid. You had the opportunity right there in your face. You had it. All you had to do is take your homie with you to record you behind the scenes while you're on getting interviewed, and it would have been caught on tape. That would have been your fucking evidence. Some people, bro, no matter how you paint it to them, no matter if you put the fucking water in front of them, they don't know how to drink it. He settled for being Adam's friend. In the end, Adam will fuck him and dump him instead of settling for the bag. And he probably settled for like $5,000 or some fucking crummy ass shit like that. But it would have been a couple hundred racks at least. It probably would have been more than that. But I guess this fool don't know how to play his cards and didn't play his cards correctly. But fuck it, I'm gonna leave this video here and kill it where it lay. He ain't catching nobody slipping. He better be on his P's and Q's, because now that Almighty knows this fool's trying to catch him slipping, they might just find him first. Never let people know what you're doing ahead of time. But fuck it, I'm gonna kill this video where it lay and call it a day. Shout out to Kelpy for out here, manipulating the system. Regardless, at the end of the day, he got people talking about him just like us. It is what it is. That's the way to get it nowadays. You bust a 6'9", you bust a whack 100, you bust a little Kelpy. But fuck it. It is what it is. Shout out to Almighty Suspect. Shout out to Kelpy, I guess. And anybody else mentioned in this video. Fuck it. We're going to call it a video. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Follow me on Instagram at TheHaterWorld. I'm Blue Devil. It's been a HaterWorld production. And we out.